Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are talking this brand, NIOD. Now, NIOD used to be one of my favourite skincare brands, possibly of all time. I had so many of their products, and I used them day in, day out in my skincare routine. A lot of you guys have noticed over the past 12 months, you see a whole lot less of NIOD mentioned here on the channel. There's a couple of reasons for that, and in this video, I want to be totally transparent with you guys and share the reasons why, as a brand, NIOD aren't one that I reach for my current skincare routine, and why maybe there might just be some better options on the market. Sit back, relax, let's talk saying goodbye to NIOD. Now, before we get into this video, I would love to know what your own thoughts, feelings, and opinions are when it comes to NIOD skincare. So sound off in the comment section below and let's get that conversation going. There are still two products from NIOD that I do use on a regular basis in my skincare routine, and I'm going to share with you what those are at the end of the video. If you want to cut to that section over this one, then all the timestamps are there in the description box below for your convenience. Just promise me that whilst you're down there, whatever your thoughts on NIOD are, you could give this video a big thumbs up and a like. This is honestly the best way of supporting me as a content creator, because the more likes the video gets, the more widely it'll be shared on the YouTube platform. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you all so much. Now, in true Mad About Skin style, shall we cut that waffle and delve straight on in? So, first off, a little history about NIOD. Well, as a skincare brand, it's owned by Deciem, who are also the founders and the parent company to The Ordinary. These two brands kind of sit side by side. Originally, NIOD was designed to be the really scientific, real high-end formulations that commanded a higher price point, and The Ordinary was designed to have more simplistic formulations, still giving you really great results, but with a drugstore and affordable price point. I actually always applauded Deciem for having those two different price points, so as consumers, we could kind of shop within our budget and knowing we'd get great results no matter which one we reached for. I think when NIOD first hit the market, there was very little in terms of competition. That hyper scientific approach to skincare that delivered exceptional ingredients with great delivery mechanisms for maximum bang for your buck. SkinCeuticals was very much in that area of the market, but aside from that, NIOD pretty much was a standout, which is why I think it got a cult following very early on. The packaging was sleek, the bottles were something different, and people definitely felt that they were buying into a super high-end brand, but again, not paying ridiculously bougie prices for the opportunity. The ethos of the brand was very much gentle, regular use for long-term payoff, and actually, I think this often is the right approach in skincare. Instead of reaching for the maximum concentrations of the highest potency ingredients, they went for more gentle alternatives, some innovative ingredients that maybe we weren't seeing other brands work with, to deliver you really gentle skincare, but effective from day one to give you those long-term payoffs. This is something that I think they just timed it perfectly, because I think around the time that NIOD started to grow in popularity, people did start to become aware of maybe not reaching for the highest potency products, but rather treating their skin with a little love and kindness and investing now for the long-term gains with more gentle skincare. They capitalized on that, and honestly, the brand exploded in popularity. And this is one of the main reasons that I love to reach for them for my own skincare routine. More recently, you've definitely seen a decrease in popularity online of NIOD. Far few people talk about the product. It doesn't get the same hype that it once did. Now, some of this is gonna happen. When a brand is new, of course it has the maximum hype. And over time, people just get used to the products. They become less innovative, less exciting, so they're talked about a lot less. But this is particularly pronounced drop-off in terms of hype and conversation online when it comes to NIOD. And I think there's a couple of reasons why that is. A lot of this is just based on my own experiences. Going from someone who is an avid consumer of the NIOD skincare products, someone who's now phased almost all bar those two products out of their skincare routine. Some of the reasons why. Let's first talk price point. When NIOD launched as a brand, it had a very bougie aesthetic. The products looked gorgeous. They had the boxes that was something different. You pull them out, it was definitely a different experience, and this stood out on the shelf. The formulations really were top-notch and high quality, and I've always been someone that's cheap when it comes to my skincare choices. But I never minded paying more in order to get more. With NIOD, that was always going to be the case. You got better delivery mechanisms, you got higher quality ingredients, you got real thought and feeling put behind each and every one of their products and the ingredients that comprise that formulation. The same can't be said for every other brand at the drugstore, and so I was always happy to pay a little more to access these quality formulations and just the look of the products themselves. Unfortunately, as with a lot of the other things that Deciem have done, the price has gone up and up recently. Around 2 years years ago, they implemented around a 15% price rise, which a lot of people weathered and thought, you know what, whilst no one was happy about that, people thought actually for the quality of the formulations, it still represented value for money. Since then, though, there's been 2 further rounds of price increases, and the brand is now around 50% more expensive than when it was when I first started using them 3 years ago. That is a large hike in the price point, and it's at this point that you start to think, is this brand actually representing value for money anymore? Or can I get the same great results cheaper, more affordably elsewhere? And that's really the conclusion that I've come to. The formulations are still amazing, but that price point means I think we can just shop around and get those same great results at a fraction of the cost. There are 2 products that I still do think represent value for money, and I'll come on to those later, like I said. Let's just continue with why I think some of the hype might have faded when it comes to this brand. I mean, up next, it's got to be that lack of innovation. You know, they had a whole host of really great innovative products on launch, but since then, nothing. You know, the copper amino acid lipid did get introduced quite some time ago, which was something different in the market. But other than that, we haven't really had any new products from NIOD. Now, I'm not a fan of brands just churning out new products every single month, because then I think, are they actually investing any time in the formulations? But I think, you know, there has to really be a balancing act here. You know, enough product launches to keep consumers interested, give us something new and exciting to try in our skincare routine, whilst also not overdoing it and like overloading the market with new product launches. With NIOD, there have been none. There isn't a single product launch I can think of in the last 2 years, and I think this is a shame, because this is a brand that really led by innovation and really drove that market. But with this lack of new products, I think things have got just a little bit stale, and it would be nice to see some new innovative products come out of the brand to just regain our interest and, you know, pique our curiosity once again. I think the third and final issue comes down to accessibility, and this isn't just about price point, though of course that does have a huge part to play in how accessible a product is, and I've already talked about that, but also the language that they use online. Yes, they're a scientifically led brand. You know, it's all about looking at the best quality formulations, ingredients, delivery mechanisms, you know, science front and center. But the terminology that they use on their website is baffling. You definitely need a PhD just to be able to decipher what they're saying. And really, that means a lot of people might take a cursory glance, be interested in the brand, look online and think, this is overwhelming, this just isn't for me. And this is something that's been called out about NIOD time and time again, and yet the brand has done nothing about it. Now, I don't think they have to strip it right back, go back to basics, but I think, you know, just looking at the way they present their products, how they present the information, really could be tweaked and changed to make it much more accessible. Like I say, people that don't have that science PhD to back it up. For me, this is something that I always found a little bit difficult with NIOD. I want you to know how the products worked. I want you to know what each ingredient would actually deliver in my skin, but you don't really get that information in a digestible way on the NIOD website, which means a lot of people take a look, they might be interested, but then just walk away. This is definitely something I've struggled with over the years, and the more I look at it, the more I think, yeah, at the end of the day, this just isn't a really accessible skincare brand. For me, it does really come down to price point. I always want to be mindful that the products that I recommend have to represent value for money. You know, whilst I'm super privileged to be in a position where I could try so much amazing skincare as part of filming content for you guys here on Mad About Skin, I also want to be mindful that the recommendations that I give are affordable, represent great value for money. They don't always have to be drugstore and the cheapest available, but where they are a little bit on the higher price point side, you have to be getting something additional for that money that you couldn't find elsewhere. This just no longer applies to NIOD. So many of their products that used to be my holy grails, I've found alternatives for. I'm going to leave some of my favourite dupes in the description box below if you do want to check them out, look for some of the alternatives that do exist. But I just don't feel comfortable recommending a brand that I don't think represents amazing value for money the way that it maybe did on launch. Too many price increases, coupled with that lack of new product innovation, and I just think, you know, it's not the accessible brand that I think it definitely could be if a few things just changed. Now, who knows what the future holds when it comes to NIOD? I might change my opinion completely on this if they just look at that pricing structure again. Maybe they'll come out with some new launches, or just, you know, demystify their website, make it a little bit more accessible for the consumer to understand what they're actually using. There are 2 products which, for me, I do continue to use from NIOD because I don't think there are better alternatives on the market. The one that I was waving around earlier is this, the Flavanone Mud Mask. This is amazing if you want a clay mask that genuinely gives you that glow up in a flash. put a thin layer of this on the skin, rinse it off, and you'll notice within like 5 minutes of use that your skin is more radiant. That boost to the luminosity is definitely visible even to the naked eye, and I do really love this. I use it like once or twice a week to just get my glow game on point, and it's also a great exfoliator that just smooths everything out, but it's really, really gentle. You don't find anything else like this on the market, which is why I still use it. Unfortunately, it's one of the cheapest products from NIOD, so I don't feel that guilty, reaching for it time and time again, because the price point of this one hasn't crept up the way it has of a lot of other products. The other product that I still do use from NIOD is this, the Fractionated Eye Contour Concentrate. Now, yes, this does come with a much higher price point than it used to, but I still don't think I've been able to find a really good alternative that gives me all the great benefit for the under eye area. This fades hyperpigmentation, dark circles, and discoloration, boosts the collagen production to minimize fine lines and wrinkles, and really smooths everything out. This is a game changer of an eye serum, but there are lots of new eye creams and serums coming on the market, so I don't think it'll be long before we can find a good, affordable competitor to this one, and trust me, you guys will be the first to hear it from me when that product exists. In the meantime, this is still a really great option, but I have discovered a couple of other really good eye creams that I shared in a recent video, which I'll leave a link to up there, so check that out if you want to do good eye care on a budget. But this I do still use in my evening skincare routine for the benefits that it brings. So I would love to know from you guys, what are your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on NIOD? Let me know in the comments section below. This video is all about transparency. Lots of you guys have noticed that I don't feature NIOD as much as I used to. I wonder if there's something in the background explaining that. In truth, there isn't. There's just that price point, accessibility, and the lack of new product innovation that really means it's not a brand that I'm excited to reach for anymore, and I think I've been priced out of the market. I always want to offer you guys the most affordable recommendations, delivering maximum benefit, minimum cost to your wallet, and NIOD no longer features in that, in my opinion. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Wherever in the world you are, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.